Yo guys, what's up? It's Mabasei here. Time to make another response video. Tutorial, buddy. No bullshit. This time it's black parents teaching their kids to fear police is bullshit. Let's keep in mind that Mr. No Bullshit is not black, nor is he a parent, so this should be fun.
Hello and welcome back. Today we're taking a look at a video from WatchCut video called Black Parents Explain How to Deal with the Police. Now they typically stick to food videos over there, but I've noticed every so often they dip into racist left-wing propaganda like this.
There's nothing racist about anything that we're about to watch, just so you guys know.
So I thought, hey, let's check it out.
I have one question. Why do white people get more rights than black people?
Well, I have a question too. Why does this cute little black girl think white people have more privileges than her? Because that is certainly not true. So the problem here isn't that white people have more rights. They don't. The problem is black families are teaching their kids this racist bullshit.
Except what you've just said is like wrong to like the umpteenth degree actually. Like demonstrably wrong. Oh, and links to check out these studies that are coming across the screen in the description, by the way.
We actually have a line that we do at our house. We practice this thing. It's just one of those things I almost feel like it's necessary as an African-American parent. And so, what is it?
I'm Ariel Sky Williams. I'm 8 years old. I'm unarmed and I have nothing that will hurt you.
Jesus Christ. No wonder these kids are scared to death. No wonder black people grow up to resent the police. Look how their parents are teaching them. Sure, it's a good idea for every parent to teach their kids something about the police. Tell them the cops are here to protect us. Police stop crimes. You can go to an officer if you're in trouble. But teaching your kids to be scared the police might shoot you is super fucked up. Yeah, you may need to be more careful around police when they're arresting someone or something. But instilling this fear in children, that's one of the biggest problems in black communities right there. This video acts like the police are the problem. They're not. It's the black parenting that's the problem.
You're retarded. So under the same logic, let's not warn our daughters about the possibility of date rape when they come of age in terms of being able to date. So like, you should just never mention that. Never mention that part, you know, because there's no danger in the world. People don't have different hurdles based on who and what they are. Like that's just not a thing, even though, you know, all statistical data points to just the opposite.
And what's the next place you put your hands when you're driving or on the steering wheel with your hands out? It's one of those things that I don't feel like I should have to teach my kids that, but it is an actual reality.
You and me have very different definitions of reality. We also have very different definitions of what hats look good. Yours looks silly as fuck. You don't look like a parent. You look like a trombone player in a ska band.
You're right. You do. Yours is a bullshit, distorted version where the police and society at large didn't do nothing wrong. And his is supported by the actual fucking data. Again, links in the description. And by the way, anyone watching this, no bullshit is not lying. He is just this much of a cop ball washer. Some of these same studies have been cited to him during a discussion he had with Destiny, and he did not he did not actually budge in the face of actual evidence. He's really just this fucking stupid. Like, he's not dishonest. He's just this fucking stupid.
I'm doing the right things. I work. I'm not out here selling drugs. I'm not out here breaking the law. I do the things. I follow the right things, but I could be Philando Castile.
What did you say? One more time.
But I could be Philando Castile.
Oh, Philando Castile? We're still talking about that old crook? Well, guy, as long as you don't reach for a gun when a cop has you pulled over, you won't be the next Philando Castile. Real Big Fish here acts like this could happen to anyone. Yeah, anyone who robbed a liquor store, carried a gun around, and reached for it when the cops told him not to. If you think that's a common, easy situation to get into, yeah, sure, it could happen to anyone.
Castile is not the suspect, and he was not reaching for his gun. The cop just thought that he was for no real reason, because last time I checked, if I'm going to use something like a gun on someone, especially on a cop, why wouldn't I already have it drawn when I see you walking up to my fucking car? Why would I tell you that I have it? Like, what you just said doesn't make a lick of fucking sense. Like, do you hear this shit? This fuck will go to the moon and beyond to defend cop idiocy, but then claim stupid shit like I'm down with the cops, blue lives matter, while holding them to like the lowest of standards.
I could easily be him. I could easily be the guy who does not come home. Or I can be picking up my kids from school and be the guy who gets shot in the car with her in the back seat. That could easily be my story.
I suppose that could easily be you or me or anyone. When you put it like that, any person could get shot or killed by a cop on their way home, regardless of race. What's your point, buddy? You sound pretty paranoid, to be honest.
The data supports his view. Suck my dick, you retard.
Are you afraid of the police?
Sometimes. Are you afraid of police?
I'm not afraid of all police. I'm afraid that I may be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, good job. You've got your kid scared of the police. The police who will protect her from crime, rape, or robbery. The police who risk their lives to keep the city safe. And your kid is afraid of them. What's next? Making your kid afraid of firemen or teachers? Why don't you teach your kid to dislike and fear drug dealers, criminals, or crackheads? Then if you have time, you could talk about the intricacies of policing, if that's even fucking necessary.
What is all that supposed to even mean? Like, are you honest to God think that he isn't teaching her that drugs are bad and all the other stereotypical shit because he's also warning her about the hurdles that African Americans have to deal with when it comes to police interactions? What? Like, none of that follows. You're a fucking crackpot. Like, good God, you've sucked so much cop cock, there's fucking jizz in your eye. I mean, I know that's gotta sting, man. Just wipe it out and see reality that there isn't this weird dichotomy of good guys and bad guys and cartoons and stuff. They lie to you. Also, cops don't usually actually get to stop crimes. They just help document when they happen. They don't usually actually like kick in a door and like stop a rape or anything like that. Like that doesn't usually happen. I really wish you'd stop fucking saying that. Like they're fucking Batman or something.
Do you know what racial profiling is?
No.
Do you remember the time when I was at Walmart and the guy stopped me because he thought I was stealing when I had the diapers? I'm walking out, have him on my shoulder, have my son in my other hand, and the guy stops me and asks me for my receipt. And I was like, okay, I'm not thinking anything of it.
Here we go. Another story that's a relatively normal occurrence for all people. A store worker asked to see a receipt. Sounds pretty harmless, right? Wrong. This guy thinks everything is racist and everyone is out to get him, so that store worker was being a horrible racist bigot, even though they probably asked every fucking person for their receipt that day. This guy is so fucking dense. He would probably say McDonald's is racist for making him pay for his food.
And then this lady just walks by with a 55-inch Samsung Smart TV and just walks straight out. And I'm like, but you're asking me, you're stopping me for a $17 pack of diapers? He was like, sir, well, it's our protocol. I was like, well, the protocol should definitely go for a $1,700 TV. Things like that. That's racial profiling. He stopped me because I was black and he thought I was stealing.
Wow. Just wow. This girl has no chance with a dad like this. And look at her face. I can't tell if that's an, oh my god, I can't believe the world is so racist, daddy, or maybe it's an, oh my god, dad, everyone is not fucking racist. I saw that lady carrying the TV show her receipt too, so you're full of shit, daddy.
Why are you projecting your crackpot right-wing views onto children? Like, my dude, are you well?
If I wasn't black, I don't think he would have stopped me.
This is actually an interesting look into the problems with black parenting. This dad of the year over here, he thinks everything is racist. Everyone is out to get him because he's black. His mom probably taught him that, and now he's passing on this paranoia to his daughter. It's sad. Most average people aren't smart enough to see through this left-wing propaganda, so it continues to carry on generation after generation.
You haven't really proven that he or anyone who taught him this are in fact wrong.
How does that make you feel to hear that?
Makes me feel unfair. It makes me feel really frustrated how white people get more privileges than black people and how they get more opportunities than black people.
What privileges, though? All I've heard so far was Philando Castile and some dumb Walmart story. There's no privileges or opportunities here. If Philando was white, he would have been shot too, because he was reaching for a fucking weapon. And if this guy was white, they probably would have checked his receipt at Walmart too. I know you think that happened because you're black, but let's be real. You think everything happens because you're black. It's all about race for you, clearly, so you're not really a good judge of situations here. I would dare to say that Walmart employee was just doing their job and checking receipts was part of it. And who Who gives a shit anyway? Checking your receipt for 2 seconds isn't that big a deal. If that's the only tangible white privilege you can come up with, not getting your receipt checked, well, your examples are pretty fucking lacking.
Given that you're biased just in the opposite direction, you're not really a good judge for what is and what isn't racially motivated either. But given that we've studied this, I'm sorry, it would seem that he's more closer to the truth than you are. Sorry. And once again, you're a fucking retard. Suck my dick.
Police, they use the terms protect and serve. What does that mean to you?
That's a joke to me. And I called the police for some drug activity, and the first thing they do to me...
Those are some interesting hard cuts there. This makes me immediately question what this guy's story was. And let's face it, we already know what he's gonna say. Something happened that he didn't like and it was because of racism. Well, here's what I have to say. This guy laughed when asked if the police protect and serve. Like they're not doing that. They so fucking are. These two look pretty fucking comfortable and protected in their little TV studio, sitting there filming their little racist anti-cop propaganda video. Now, let's imagine for a second there were no police there. Let's say the whole town where WatchCut films turns into chaos for some reason. No police, no government, no order. Do you really think they would be filming this little video right now? Sitting in their nice clothes, working in their cushy jobs? No fucking way. There would be criminals all over. Looters. Murders happening everywhere. WatchCut's whole studio would be ransacked. Cameras stolen, computers broken, and this black idiot has the balls to say the police don't protect him? What an asshole.
And historically speaking, in other places there have been police strikes and towns did not descend into chaos. Sorry. Oh, and like I said, cops don't usually actually stop crime. They just show up afterwards to fill out reports and paperwork on it. I mean, you could say that their threat of force by their very presence stops crime, but if that was true, there would not be any crime anywhere because there happens to be police that exist all over the country. But still crime persists. So yeah, gonna say no, you're dumb.
You know, they're not living in the areas that they're serving. And what happens is they create this preconceived notion in their minds that if all you're doing is looking for bad, then that's all you're gonna see is bad.
Kind of like the preconceived notion you have about the police being racist bigots out to get you, or your preconceived notion that everything is racist. Have you ever heard of projection, Less Than Jake? It's worth a Google.
When did he ever say that the police were all racist bigots? He literally said, I just fear that I would be at the wrong place at the wrong time. That does not indicate that he believes that anyone is racist. You're just making a stretch to make these points fit, which they still don't.
If you can't talk to me with respect and I'm showing you respect, they say they get the training, but what is the training actually? Pull your gun first, shoot first, ask questions later?
I hope this guy's being facetious, but I'm afraid he might actually think police training is that simple. Clearly he's not too bright, but let me assure you, the police are being trained properly. And this whole police shooting problem, well, it's minuscule at best.
No, it is not. Even if it was only one person being killed, regardless of color or context, for reasons that cannot really be justified, it's a major problem. These are state-sanctioned enforcers, hurting people, killing people. No, full stop. You're retarded.
I drive a minivan. I drive a family dad van. It has stickers on the back of it. That's what I drive. But even still, driving while black is real. I am 5'6", 185 pounds.
Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I'm white and I get pulled over too. Everyone does. This one is called confirmation bias. This guy thinks black people get pulled over because they're black. And then when he gets pulled over, he says it's because he's black. Not because you were speeding or had a taillight out, no. You think it's because of racism, so that's what you blame it on. You could blame it on anything and your confirmation bias would confirm it. You could say it's because of the weather or the car you drive, and then when you get pulled over, boom, it was the weather. It was the car I drove.
You really are some kind of stupid, aren't you?
And I got pulled over because I fit the description of a guy who was 6'3", 250 pounds. It's impossible. I'm at my heaviest weight that I'm at now, and I'm 185 pounds.
No one cares about your weight, loser. And it's kind of hard to tell how tall someone is when they're sitting in a fucking minivan. Jeez. I'm surprised this guy could even dress himself this morning, let alone raise fucking kids. I have to say, I can see why black youths are struggling. Their parents are fucking morons.
No, it's not. I can easily tell a tall guy from a short guy. Well, they're riding in a car, regardless of, like, the car, really. You're just bullshitting.
What's wrong, baby?
Well, congratulations, guys. You scared this poor girl so much you made her cry. And this isn't just being scared of ghosts or the boogeyman. Those are supernatural things which will never come up. No, these guys got this poor little innocent girl afraid of cops and society. Everything is racist and out to get her, basically. She's gonna be afraid to even leave the house thanks to her horrible father. What burns my ass the most here is two things. First, they're gonna blame this girl crying on the cops and the racist society. Get the fuck out of here with that. Even if that bullshit was true, even if society was really racist and out to get black people, it's the parents' job to protect their kids from that. They shouldn't be telling her to be scared of cops and Walmart employees. Kids don't need to know about this shit. They should be playing games and watching cartoons, not worried about racism and politics. Needless to say, it's the parents' fault this kid is scared and crying, not society. That brings me to the second thing that is real bullshit here. WatchCut and this dad exploiting this kid for views and money. Not only is using children a classic, creepy, left-wing tactic, but it's also kind of WatchCut's main and only shtick on their channel. Their whole channel is based on exploiting children and their reactions. And most of the time it's pretty harmless. I mean, they're usually just trying food or something. But every once in a while they make a bullshit video like this. They try to get the kids scared or crying or something. It's pretty fun.
So it's the parents' fault for informing their kid that people are assholes. So they should have just let them to their own devices and let them find out about the assholes blindly, all on their own. And then they could get hit with the shit all at once and break down and cry as teenagers or adults. Also, like in the case of things like Ayanna Harris or Tamir Rice, a few other cases, black children don't get the opportunity to just be kids. What you just said just isn't applicable to this girl in her life. Sorry. The data just isn't there.
Fucked up.
We're strong. We make it through everything, right? Okay? We got this. Every day I get to see you. I get to do this, right?
While watching this poor kid cry more, I think of two more things that bother me. First, this kid didn't have to cry today. Her dad and WatchCut made her cry on purpose for the video. Second, look how long they're showing the crying here. They could have cut this out or cut it short a bit, but no. It's the girl crying for over a fucking minute. This is their money shot, so to speak. They get off and get paid by making kids cry on camera.
All right, come on. Let's calm down. Let's finish this, all right? You good? Hey, you making me cry.
Is it upsetting to hear your dad tell you those stories?
Well, I can't have my kids live in fear.
Wow, I can't believe you just said that, guy. How can you be so not self-aware? You have been instilling fear in your kid for this whole fucking video, dude. If you don't want your kids to be afraid, you're doing the opposite things to achieve that. Like I said before, your kids don't need to know any of this shit you said in the video. Even if this bullshit was true about the cops, it's not true by the way, but even if it was, your daughter doesn't need to know about it. For example, let's say you're raising a kid in modern day Chicago. There's rampant crime across the city. Murder and rape rates are at an all-time high. So the city is a mess, but you still gotta raise your kid there. Do you tell them about the murders? About people dying and getting raped and fighting over drugs? Do you tell your kid about the drug dealers? No fucking way. You protect your kid from violence and from violent thoughts. And sure, you gotta avoid crime, you gotta keep them out of the ghetto and keep your kids in school, but telling them about the problems and scaring them doesn't help at all. All you're doing is getting them crying, upset, and possibly causing mental scarring. This is just bad parenting.
Remember in the beginning of the video, I told you to take note of the fact that no bullshit is not black and is not a parent. There it is. So as a parent, no, that is in fact what you should do. You always tell your kids everything about the world that is age appropriate for them to know. If they're old enough to do a thing like as old as this little girl is, to maybe be walking to school, to and from school by themselves possibly, or to a corner store or something, or you know, to something, like to have any sort of independence where they might be on their own, they need to know what type of things to avoid, what to do in that situation, what to do in this situation. All these things are vital to their survival. What you are suggesting, sir, would get this little girl raped, molested, maimed, killed, brutalized. You're a fucking idiot. And on top of that, even if you did try and shelter them from them, have you ever met a person who's been sheltered as fuck? Like honestly, like they're not they're not cool people. They're really creepy, and it's absurd the things that they don't know about.
How do you feel about people who throw back the all lives matter?
If your house was on fire, burning up, and I have a water hose, do you want me to take care of your house, or am I going to say all houses matter?
Well, if you need any further proof this guy's an idiot who repeats things he read on Facebook, here you go. This burning house analogy has been disproven over and over again, but let me have a swing at it. In your example, black people are a house on fire, right? Because they are being shot by the police, I presume? Well, if that's the case, then white people are 3 or 4 additional houses on fire, because white people in America are shot by the police more often. So yeah, all lives matter sounds pretty accurate then. Black lives matter inherently only looks at the blacks, while whites are getting shot more. So you're fucking wrong, dude.
What you just said wouldn't be an argument for all lives matter, it would be an argument for white lives matter. And it still kind of fails in context because it's still disproportionately blacks who are unarmed who are likely to be shot. Which once again, link in the description, we've gone over this. It's not a thing. Okay? It's not a thing. This whole like white people shot while unarmed meme is not a thing. Blacks have a higher rate of being shot while unarmed than whites, and that's like that's a big problem. Like, we can kind of debate about whether or not you've got a knife, all this other stuff, right? But blacks being flat out declared unarmed but being found dead after being shot by police, that is the discussion here. That's the problem.
Black men have always been looked at as thugs, as ruffians, as things like that.
Well, black men commit more crimes than any other demographic, so traditionally they have been more likely to be thugs and ruffians. And looking at them that way is actually pretty accurate.
So a lot to unpack there. So let's get started. 1, per capita is not raw numbers. Raw numbers, brass tacks, hands down, that is white men who commit the most crime, which makes sense. Most crimes committed by men, most men in America are white, so therefore the most crime is going to come out of white men overall because they're the biggest demographic of males in American society. 2, always been looked at that way. Key word he used, always. That doesn't make any sense in the context of the fact that most of the statistics that you're probably going to reference are no more than 20 or 30 years old. Things have not always been that way, but blacks have always been viewed that way. That is a subtle nuance there that you skipped over in order to make this goofy ass argument that still doesn't stand. 3, a very tiny minority of black men will commit a crime at all, and even smaller within that will commit a violent one. So viewing them that way is actually objectively retarded. By that same sort of token, if we want to judge people based on some of like their worst in the group, we could do that to white males and say it's okay to judge them as pedophiles because white males are roughly 30% of the American population, while being 80% of people convicted of a sex crime committed against a minor. But you wouldn't accept that for good reason, which is why no one's going to accept this for good reason. I mean, unless they're already racist and stupid, like you.
For instance, when you heard about Alton Sterling, what was the description you heard? A big black man. That's what you heard.
Wow. Well, that's because Alton Sterling was a big black man. What else would you call him? You being shocked at this is pretty fucking ridiculous, by the way. And I can't believe people are still bringing up Philando Castile and Alton Sterling in 2017. Those are horrible fucking examples to use for the Black Lives Matter anti-cop bullshit. Both of these guys were criminals reaching for guns. They deserve to be shot. If these are the best examples you can come up with, you fucking lost this debate, dog.
And again, he claims that people were reaching for guns, that no one has substantiated whether or not they were or weren't. He's just going with they were because, I don't know, cop cock tastes good, I guess.
The reality was he was another black man. He was a man. Does he have to be a big black man? That makes him sound like he's a gorilla.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You said gorilla, not us. If you think big black men are like gorillas, then that's on you, buddy. Don't put those words into our mouths.
We're not animals.
Yes, you are certainly not animals. Animals are actually smarter than you.
But if you were to get pulled over or they were looking for you, it would be an unknown male.
Well, why even identify the gender then? If we're going to be so sensitive to people we can't even say what color their skin is, then assuming their gender is pretty fucking offensive too, right?
I'd say make races more fair
And how do we go about doing that?
by not just targeting black people because they're just black.
You heard it first here, guys. This girl thinks police are targeting black people because they're black. And no one in the room here is going to correct her or tell her about the nuances there or anything. She's just left to believe she's being targeted for a race. This is the kind of thinking that sticks with kids their whole lives, by the way. She's going to grow up and teach her kids this, and so on and so on. So again, I say, the problem here isn't the police or even societal racism. The problem here is black parents teaching their kids to be endless victims.
Nope. The problem is you trying to fight the data and what it says.
Like I said in the beginning, I don't know what to do to change it. I don't know what to do.
Here's what you do, mighty boss tones. You gotta recognize that the police are not targeting black people because they're black. They are targeting criminals because they're breaking the law. Teach your kids to respect the police, not fear them. Cooperate with police orders and obey the law, and black people will have nothing to worry about. And if you really think the police aren't protecting you right now, go live in a policeless state for a little while. See how safe you are at home and work when you're living in Nigeria or Syria. I guarantee you, after 2 days, you'll be running back to America thinking, God, we have police here to fight crime. The truth is, you've gotten so comfortable in your anti-cop bigotry, you don't even know how good you've got it, buddy. It's fucking sad. Last thing I'll say is, this video didn't do its title justice at all. This loser in the fedora didn't explain how to deal with the police at all. He just said all police are racists who target blacks and they don't protect anyone. He's spreading racist anti-cop rhetoric and it needs to stop. What do you guys think? Are the cops targeting black people because they're black? Was WatchCut making this kid cry super fucked up? Comment below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. See y'all next time.
So just to recap, No Bullshit wants black parents to stop telling their kids about the police, stop telling their kids about racism that statistically speaking they will face at some point, and to shelter their kids until they're really freaky and weird like Onision, because it'd be racist to say that cops have bias because cops are now a race. God, this motherfucker's stupid. But anyway, I'm Mabasei. I'll see you guys later. Probably gonna get to work to something that's not related to something as stupid as this. I just want to do something and just kind of slide into something easy. And let's just face it, No Bullshit is just really easy. But next time we'll try something a little better. Probably not a response video. Probably just some musings, some stuff, things, probably not necessarily on the same topic, but you know, that thing. And of course, all the relevant links in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already, rate the video, share it, all that, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.